Howdy, everybody. This is Bake with IronThroneCraft.com. Today, we're going to talk about hero setup for both the World Raid and for monster hunting. So, with the World Raid, a lot of people have been asking about a lot of questions about how to rank in your kingdom or rank, in the actual World Inferno for it. So, we're just going to go over that real quick. And to start off, level 80 hero is out. Didn't make a huge difference, but it is a fairly large difference when it comes to base attack. So see, level 80 Infidus, 6452 base attack. That's about as much base attack as you're going to get unless you use Deathlord, who I'll show in a second. See, Lonnie, 5861 at level 80. But if you go over to Achilles right here and look at his, 4554. So Achilles and Lonnie should have very similar base attack if they're the same level. But you see the difference there from 60 to 80. And so I'm going to go and I'm going to drop Ivar down as well. And Ivar will have the same base attack as Lonnie if they're the same level. So if you look at Ivar and you look at his, 4718. So you go look at Lonnie after that in just a second, and you'll remember that was up in the fives. And so that's the difference between 60 and 80 there. But Deathlord throws everything into disarray here. He's level 70. He's got 5818 attack at level 70. So he's just barely slightly below Lonnie at level 80 with his base attack. And he's about 600 below Infidus. So basically what I'm getting at, and what a lot of folks need to look at, is with these base stats and from the hero levels and world skills, Deathlord's world skills are really high for hero skills or stats and everything else like that. So what I'm getting at is your hero XP is best used on Deathlord if you have him. If you don't have him, you need to pick your best, strongest hero. So use the hero chart that we have on IronThroneCraft.com, and that'll show you who has your highest base attack. And so if you're doing World Raid or anything else well, not anything else like that. If you're doing World Raid or monster hunting, Deathlord is going to be your strongest. So he's going to be the best spot to dump your hero XP. And so what you see here is what I'm doing is I'm going through and now I'm swapping his world skills out for hero base attack. And what I recommend doing with world skills, especially what I like to do, as you're going to see here, as I'll show throughout this video, is I'm just going to stack Deathlord up as high as I can, and he's going to be my superhero hunter. And so I'm going to skip ahead a little bit because it took me quite a long time to get hero attack there. So see, hero attack now, 600 additional hero attack from that one. And I'm not going to swap the other ones yet. But if you really want to min-max, you get all three of those to hero attack. That's going to get expensive on your world trade swaps. Because as you see, after you lock one, it goes up to 3, and then you lock another one, it goes up to 10. So here I get to hero-based defense and hunting march speed on the other two skills. I apply that. I'm done for now. Whenever I want to min-max, I'll go in and I'll level Deathlord the rest of the way up, and I'll level up those world skills as well. But if you want to compete in the World Raid, World Inferno, or even in your kingdom, if there's a lot, you really need to pick a hero and you need to min-max. And so you see the runes here. I'm using hero base attack rune, additional damage in raid rune, and then another hero base attack rune. That's because I had a mighty damage rune for the raid. But if you don't have a mighty rune for hero damage, I recommend using the hero base attack ones. Now look at the pets. Mandragora, hero base attack 1200, defense 400, basic HP 6000. That's going to be your absolute best monster hunting pet. Mandragora will. Winter Tiger, though, has that additional damage in raid in addition to hero base attack. So those two stats right there are the only two that matter in World Raid. Well, and hunting march speed's nice too. But hero base attack and additional damage in raid are the only two stats that matter in World Raid. Your defense and your HP don't matter at all. So we're still going to want to use Winter Tiger when we're hitting the raid boss. And you're going to use Mandragora when you're hunting normal guys, normal monsters. So if you look at this, what I like to do is I like to stack up and use, see my Hunter's Mark, level 6 chest, level 9 helm. I stick all of those on one preset. And also what I do is I'm going to level up one set of Hunter's Mark gear up to level 10. I don't even have a level 10 set yet. I'm going to level it all the way up. And so you see how he's got a 6 chest and a 9 head? If you go look at Infidus and look at his raid preset, because that's the best use I've found for presets, he's got a +6 and a +6. Now, this is because I was upgrading them equally before. I'm not doing that anymore. Now I'm focusing on leveling up Deathlord's raid gear, and I'm going to get that up to level 10 before I move to my next set of raid gear. And that is because in World Raid, a lot of times people are using speed ups with their stronger heroes. So if you focus on one hero who's going to be your super duper superstar, like Deathlord for me, then you're going to level up that one set of Hunter's Mark gear, and that way, even if you have 7 marches going at the raid boss, if you decide you want to really put in a lot of effort and go for number 1 or go for the world raid ranking or anything else like that, then you're going to start using march speed ups on your superhero whenever he comes back from hitting the raid monster. And that's how you see these people getting crazy scores against the world raid monster. Is number 1, obviously they have a lot of good Hunter's Mark gear. Number 2, what they're going to do is they're going to use speeds. So that's how I use presets right there. See that? I put on a normal set of gear, you activate your preset, boom, it holds the weapons, it's got the Winter Tiger, and he's ready to go for raid. And that's a very time-saving thing there. Now, another big part of monster hunting and raid specifically are your Lord skills. If you go to your, like I have a monster preset, and if you don't have a monster preset, you should get a monster preset. That's the most important skill right there, and it's like the second one you can take, Monster Hunt Attack. It gives you 10% extra Monster Hunt Attack. Now you see these hero defense, attack, and HP? Those are your second most important ones. Attack is obviously the most important one when it comes to the raid, but you want to scroll all the way down, and once you get all the way down to the end, that right there, that's the last important hunting skill right there, the additional damage in raid 2. So you want to make sure that you get that filled in, and then the first one as well, the additional damage in raid 1. That's going to give you 100% additional damage in the raid. So those are your 2 most important skills along with the hero attack tiles. So you want to make sure that you've got the additional damage in raid filled in and your hero attack filled in. After that, you're going to go back through and you're going to fill in the rest of them. And so you see I've got skill points to spare because you run out of things to take in monster hunting. But the most important thing is you just want to make sure that you take that hero attack and right there, and you see you get the extra base hero attack. Because as I said, in World Raid, the only stats that matter are hero attack and additional damage in raid. That's it. So, quick rundown. Pick one hero. Make him your superstar. Use runes, everything else like that. Focus on getting him up to level 80. My Deathlord's not level 80 yet. If you don't have Deathlord, you want to use that hero chart that we have posted on IronThroneCraft.com. You're going to use that hero chart, and you're going to pick out your very strongest hero. That's going to be your superstar. That's who you stack all your really good Hunter's Mark gear on. The important thing, though, that I didn't mention beforehand is that you want to make sure that you have a set of Hunter's Mark, base Hunter's Mark for everybody. So see here, leveling up from 70 to 71, I got 60 extra attack. And that is why you see the level 80s that are going to be hitting a lot harder. And so it's not a massive difference by any means. It's not a hugely different difference. But it does add up, especially when you've got 7 or 8 heroes running at that World Raid boss. So here, I'm going to buy one of those and take him all the way up to 74 there. See how he goes from 5078 to 5262? Like I said, not a huge difference, but every little bit helps, especially when it comes to hero attack with the World Raid boss. So, pick one hero. Level your Hunter's Mark up as high as you can on that one hero. That is your superstar guy. Make sure that you have enough sets of Hunter's Mark to cover all the rest of your heroes, and then just level them up in order based on the chart we got posted on IronThroneCraft.com. You take your strongest hero, focus as much XP into him as you can, and you focus on that one hero and make him as strong as you can. Once he's done, move on to the next. If you want to start competing in your kingdom's World Raid and World Raid boss, and you want to start competing in the World Inferno for the World Raid, that's what you're going to have to do. And Deathlord is a very large step in the right direction for that. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment with any questions like that. Check the article on IronThroneCraft.com. Like, subscribe, stay tuned for more videos. Thanks for watching, everybody.